ese instante vi cómo ese joven delgaducho se transformaba en un superhéroe.
First of all, congratulations. This movie is amazing and you are just hypnotizing all the time. It's incredible.
Thank you so much.
My first question is about because of the pandemic, you had a long time to do research for the character, but I assume Baz Luhrmann was also a big expert in Elvis Presley. So did you get the chance to help shape the character in any way, or was everything in the script and Baz?
Because I had so long with Baz before the film started shooting, we had about a year and a half where we were working together. And I saw the script change a lot during that time. And the way in which he wanted to tell the story changed a lot. And we'd send ideas back and forth all the time. And at a certain point, he sort of, he told me at one point, he said, I can help you and aid in the process of your preparation, but at the end of the day, you're the one who has to go out there. And so I always felt that pressure and responsibility, but I knew I had the safety net of Baz and his vision, that it meant that I could push myself and he could push me to the very edge of what felt possible. And yeah, we had a great time doing it.
Speaking of Baz and how he shoots, I don't understand how he could make this movie that big with such a crowd during the pandemic. And there's also a lot of stories about how his productions are like huge parties. So how does it feel to be directed by Baz Luhrmann, and how is he true to the legend that's out there?
I've never met anybody who lives the art in every part of their life in the way that he does. Everything is curated around him. So when you're on a usual set, you kind of have the set, and then the rest of it, you feel like you're behind the scenes. With his, even the holding areas, everything, it felt like you were in a jungle room, or it felt like he just created this world in which we all got to live in. And as far as how he directs, he's the closest thing to a jazz musician I've ever met in a director, where in order to play jazz, you got to know that instrument inside and out. You got to know music theory and your scales and everything inside and out. But then when you're on stage, you're improvising and you're responding to what's right in front of you. And that's how Baz was, where his attention to detail, the research that he did, the amount that he immersed himself in Elvis's life and in the world at that time, was exceptional and out of this world. But then when it came time to film, I may be in the hair and makeup chair, and he would come up to me and say, I've rewritten the entire scene, or I've got an idea that you're singing a song you've never prepared before today. And he would throw things at me in the moment. And at first that's so scary, because you go, why don't we just do what we prepared this whole time? But he had this way of pulling things out of me that I didn't know that I had inside me, and I owe him a lot for that.
That's really, really cool. So I had one last question. Since you were young in this industry, and this movie is about a lot of things, but fame is really interesting, and how it translates in the relationship with Elvis and the Colonel. So did you feel any resemblance to your experience when you were starting, finding one like Colonel in the industry?
Oh,
in your case,
as far as my relationship to a Colonel-like character?
Yeah.
My publicist. No, I'm kidding. I think for me, it's the theme of fame that is really resonant. We all have those people in our lives who either really help us or help guide us, or they may have ideas that may hold you back, or that sort of thing. But for me, it's about not falling into the traps of your self-worth being wrapped up in fame. Because if that happens, then suddenly you're like this flag that's blown in the wind, and one moment people say you're great, the other they say you're awful, and then your sense of self gets skewed, And so So for me, I'm just trying to stay grounded and keep my feet on the ground. You know?
Well, thanks a lot for this interview, and again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
¿Listo para despegar?
Estoy listo. Quiero despegar.
Mañana toda América hablará de Elvis Presley.
Señor Presley, procure no moverse tanto durante las